This is a Prince George's County Public Schools NewsBreak.
I just want to thank you for your leadership and thank the teachers for all the hard work. This school is just getting better and better and better. Yeah. And it's pretty amazing to see. And I'm lucky enough, I think it's probably my 8th school this week that I'm in schools all over the country. And I get to see schools that are doing a great job and schools in the middle and schools that are struggling. And this is a school that's just totally going the right way. So I just want to thank all of you for your hard work. And I know it's not easy to make the kind of progress you guys are making.
It's not every day that the U.S. Secretary of Education comes calling. But there he was, Secretary Arne Duncan, praising the teachers of Bladensburg Elementary School for their pioneering work with the voluntary paid-for-performance program known as FIRST. And when he solicited their ideas on how they cope with the demands of meeting individual and student performance goals and the role of the up to $10,000 rewards for doing so, the responses he got were just what he hoped to hear.
And I like the FIRST program because it helped us to plan effective lessons. And one of the ways that we can do that is by working with our peers and our colleagues.
The reward part was not as important because we knew that we had a whole year to wait before we could get which is true. We had a whole, and that prepared us, and we did all those things during that time, knowing that we had that. And as we went through that first year, yeah, it was a little challenging. Yeah. Administrators had timelines, and after a minute, the timelines kind of went south because we had to do what we had to do and get used to what we had to do.
Now, as a second-year participant for me, and I'm just speaking for myself, I'm not really paying attention to the money anymore. It's really just about improving my teaching practice and what I'm going to do to get better while I'm in front of these kids every day.
For the Bladensburg principal, the pride in her staff's embrace of the FIRST program couldn't be greater.
Yes, they are doing it for themselves, and that's the most rewarding part of this whole program for us. The teachers are really starting to look at their own practices, looking at what's happening in their classrooms, and developing themselves. And money was not discussed at the table, and I thought that was just so profound.
As the first school system in the nation to embrace FIRST, a feat that required the agreement of teachers, principals, unions, and school officials, Prince George is celebrated by presenting $1.1 million in bonus checks at a gala ceremony in December, and is gearing up for enrolling as many as 42 at-risk schools before the program expires in 2012. As a tribute to our success, Secretary Duncan chose Bladensburg Elementary as the site to announce a FIRST grant program for all of America's schools worth $500 million. The Bladensburg model, and that of the other 20 Prince George's schools currently using FIRST, is showing how teacher incentive and expected outcomes, even in challenging situations, can succeed.
Many of my colleagues here are being modest, essentially because they've been doing this work all along. 85% of the students, the young people here, come from circumstances of poverty. It's never been a reason why something could not happen at Bladensburg Elementary. As a matter of fact, they establish expectations to be a distinguished school, and as they do that, they outperform schools with much lower percentages.
Are you encouraged by what you heard this morning about going forward with FIRST?
No, this is exhilarating, more than encouraging, and this is just a phenomenal team that's making a huge difference in students' lives. And I meant exactly what I said, that the success here is an example not just for the district or the state. This is an example of national implications. And they're, the very diverse student body. Vast majority of students live in low poverty line, but remarkable success because you have adults working together, challenging themselves and each other every single day to get better. And folks here should be very, very proud of the culture they're building.
I was interested that money really wasn't as big a factor as I would have thought.
It never is. No one goes into education. None of us are motivated by money. No one becomes a teacher to make $1 million. They want to make a difference in students' lives. But what we want to do is we want to shine a spotlight on success. We want to reward it, and we want to learn from it. And there's a lot we can learn from the hard work going on here.
So when America needed a guide for educational reform, it had to look no farther than the Prince George's County Public Schools. Congratulations to all the FIRST schools, especially Bladensburg Elementary, for showing the country how FIRST is done right. For Channels 96 and 38, this is Dave Zarin reporting.